And we are live. Did you see that, Keri? That message they're saying we're live?
Yep.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Manifesting Monday, Monday Spotlight. And today I am spotlighting Keri. And is it Brehler?
Brehler. Yeah, Brehler.
Keri Brehler. We usually just talk first names, and so
right.
and talk about Pinnacle Wellness. So I am here spotlighting Keri of Pinnacle Wellness Spa here in Reno. And normally, Keri, and you'll see this on any one of my spotlights, that I always talk a little bit in the beginning so that people have time to jump on. And I really want people to jump on live. This is every one of my interviews. I love the people that I am promoting, and this is one you want to watch. And for those of you who are watching the recording, stay to the end. We have a lot of great information for you. So let's get started. I am going to start by telling you how I know Keri and why I love Pinnacle Wellness Spa of Reno. So Keri and I met about a year ago at a networking group that my best friend Alana is a part of. And we didn't actually have a chance to talk during that meeting, but Alana always raved about Pinnacle Wellness and how great it is and all of the things that Keri offers and her background of why she does it. And then also too that Keri, and we didn't even talk about this before when we were just talking a moment ago, there's a space for meetings for some people. You know, at one point you had done that. And so I'd heard a lot about you, and I made an appointment and I went to Pinnacle Wellness and tried out equipment. And right away I bought in, and I bought my punch card. And for those of you who know me as personally and as a coach, like, I'm all about action. So I was talking to her about, okay, how can I buy a bulk? How does this work? Give it to me, because I know that this is what I want and I'm in it. Like, I am in. But not just that, Keri, she is a great person. She just has a phenomenal heart, and she's a businesswoman, and she has background in a lot of other things, and I'll let you talk, more. But once I started to talk with you, Keri, I knew right away that you're a great person, and what you're doing is phenomenal. And for those of you who don't know me, you can go on my website, it's just teresawalkerly.com. And I had to learn at a young age to use my instinct when it came to people. And it's right on. It's spot on every time. And you can go and just see why, a little bit of why. And so when Keri and I started talking, and she started telling me her story of why she started this and how it all started, and why you continue, right away, I was like, here we go. Love this woman. I love this woman. And I am a lifelong customer at Pinnacle Wellness. I have favorite things there, and one of them is the salt room, and I love to mastermind there. So look up Pinnacle Wellness, Reno.com. But now I'm going to have Keri give a little bit of a background of why you do what you do, and then what you have to offer there at Pinnacle Wellness.
Hey, Teresa, thank you so much for inviting me on this morning. I'm so excited. And when you told me it was Manifest Monday, like, that's right up my alley, like manifestation of things that we want, things that we need to attain. And my parents taught us at a young age. I grew up in Incline. My folks developed Incline back in the 60s. We had the Maharishi Mahesh come to Incline. I got a mantra when I was 13 years old. My sister got a walking mantra when she was 3. I mean, they taught us from a very, very early age that what you think about, you bring about, right? So if you really want something, you can have it if you put your energy towards the right direction. And so my mom was the original practitioner here at Pinnacle Wellness. When she passed away, my daughter and I promised her that we would carry on her legacy, and here we are. And my daughter Courtney has joined me in forces, so I'm super excited about that. And we offer people a place to come to just relax, unwind, take a minute for themselves. I mean, we self-love, and I'm guilty as charged, we don't always take time for ourselves. And that's what we're really trying to educate people about here at Pinnacle, provide a space for them to do it, even if it's just a half hour, like you say, going in the salt room and being able to just have the quiet and really think about and focus on what you want and where you want to be. So I'm grateful that you have me here this morning.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm grateful that you're letting me share you personally, because you're amazing. You are a phenomenal person, and then also the business. And so for those of you who don't know where Incline Village is, that's here. When I say here, we're in Reno now, but it's just 20 minutes from my house. It's Incline Village, Lake Tahoe, the Nevada side.
Yeah, the North Shore of Tahoe. Yeah, sorry, I just assume everybody knows where Incline is.
Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. And so, Keri, I know that you do offer, and I always talk about self-care, and as a coach and how important it is. And yes, we're all guilty. We're all busy. And it's important to still make time. This interview is not about me, so I won't go into how busy I am. All of you know, I schedule it. I schedule,
right.
which I need to schedule myself to go there and do the chi machine. Actually, yes, I will look at that. I always look over here because that's where my calendar is, and make an appointment. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit in more detail what is offered there?
Well, when I started researching far infrared, which is different than near infrared, about maybe 16 years ago, I was like, holy cow, this is the medicine of the future. And then I was kind of like Cruella de Vil, like, how many modalities can I find it in? I must have a puppy, right? Like and then I was so excited and pleasantly surprised at all the different types of modalities, is what we call them, I could find. So I found amethyst mats, I found far infrared pods, I found, I'm so sorry about that phone. I found high pressure vitamin D beds. I found so many different things, far infrared in a wand. And I was like, I think I can put a whole facility together around this. And that's what we did. Again, my mom was the original practitioner up in Incline forever. She did applied kinesiology and whole food nutrition. And she was amazing. And I wanted something that I didn't have to work quite as hard to do and have as much knowledge as she had. So that's when we brought in the far infrared. Far infrared brings in circulation and oxygenation on a cellular level. So the same way as if we run or we go for a good walk, that's when we, bring in circulation and oxygenation. The mats that I have here and the chi machines, you're kind of like taking a power nap and working out at the same time. It doesn't get much better than that, right? Yeah, and most people do fall fast asleep, and I love that. I take that as a huge compliment because it means that they're relaxed, they're taking time, and they're kind of going into, as we talked about earlier, that stage 4 realm of sleep, and that's when our body knits back together. That's when our body heals. So if someone's asleep and I don't have someone coming in right behind them, I let them sleep for a little while. I feel like a grandma, right? I'm going on, oh, I got everybody, it's nap time. I don't know.
Yeah, about this before. We're talking about how relaxing it is, and we're repairing ourselves on a cellular level. And I believe when I've been on the jade mat, doing the thing, I'm falling asleep here. But I was just going to tell you that the phone is ringing because this manifesting is already working. Here people want what you have to offer. You guys look up Keri's information. I put this on LinkedIn. I was telling Keri before we got on live of how I already had, there was already interest in, especially the salt room, which is one of my favorite places to be. Keri, why don't you give a little bit of background, if this is okay with you, about, I know you talked about your mom, but, some of your experience with helping, especially with the health. And I know that you're not a doctor. I'm not a medical practitioner, but there's something to be said about experience, especially for those of you parents out there, those of you in leadership positions, those of you who are entrepreneurs, people who run a business brick and mortar. So why don't you give a little bit of background as well of your qualifications too?
So my mom, as I said, was the original practitioner, and that came about. My dad had gone in for a surgery. It's called a laminectomy. He wanted to start. My mom played 36 holes of golf, and my dad wanted to start playing golf with my mom again. When he came out of the surgery, he was paralyzed from the neck down, and our family took a left turn. And my mom worked diligently to get my dad back to his full capacity. I'm happy to say he drove again. He did the grocery shopping again. He cooked again, which was the best part. He was an amazing cook. And then in 2006, my mom got a bout of shingles, and shingles are rare cases. And I share this story because people need to know. Shingles in rare cases can lead to a stroke syndrome. And my mom had a series of 9 strokes in a matter of 2 months, lost the ability to eat, to speak, to walk, to talk. I tease, I went from being an interior designer to interior designer. I walked away from my business and took care of my mom full time. And it was about 3 years into it, she finally said to me, I'm not going to wait for my speech to get better to go back to work. Hence Pinnacle Wellness. Again, I brought in equipment so that my mom could still be here and be the matriarch and still feel like she was making a difference and contributing, but she didn't have to work so hard. So I say I didn't have to, but it was more of getting her health back. And I fell in love with the work. I fell in love with being able to educate people about how their body works. You'd be amazed at how many people have no idea how the human body works. And it's an amazing thing. And again, I'm not a doctor. I can't treat, diagnose, or cure a thing, but the thirst for knowledge when people come in and they're like, I have this lump puckaroo, and it's like, well, I don't know, but let's look it up and see what we can do, and kind of go on this journey together. I mean, I know that in Western medicine has its place. When my son snapped his femur, I certainly couldn't fix that, but like I said, the mental aspect and our body, mind, and spirit, it all works together. The mind can't be happy and the body be in disrepair or in damage mode, and vice versa. The mind can't be, unhappy and the body be happy. They have to work together. So I really feel like we treat the body as a whole. So if you need to talk to me and tell me about, I'll take the time to spend with you and figure out who you are and what you need and where I can best direct you and what we have to offer. And if I can't fix it, I know a lot of people. I have friends in low places. Like, I have a lot of people that we can reach out to in the alternative world, in whether it be someone to help coach them as to wwhere they need to go, i.e. Teresa Walkerly, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lovely community that we've built here at Pinnacle, and I'm super proud of it. And where
I'm proud of it too. That's why you're spotlighting. That's why I'm spotlighting you. And so you guys, she went from interior design to helping your interior. You couldn't quite see her, but so she was pointing to her abdomen area, the center there. I mean, there's so much that goes on with our gut,
right.
But you can go in that another time. And if you listen to her, if you're coming on now, go back and watch the recording from the beginning. They did a lot of work within their family, her father, and then you worked also with your mother. And I mean, there's I will get a little spiritual here. When I go there, I feel both of them. It's a strong presence. And when Keri talks about them, my heart just fills up, because her parents, again, you can go on my website and look up a little bit of background. I'm writing my book right now too. Has my story intertwined self-help book. But I just love when I hear about such close families, and especially parents, and I'm that parent. And so when I hear Keri's story, so she also, they worked as a family with her father, and then later with your mother.
Right.
And then, that there is a acute response. So, there's a medical system in Western medicine with acute, like you couldn't fix your son's femur when it broke. But there was, I'm seeing, is there someone trying to go to the,
seeing my eyes track? Yeah, I'm turning off my phone when they call me. It's my 11 o'clock. They're here 15 minutes early. Sorry. You're right. Here we go. You're just pulling it in.
We'll wrap it up here in a second. But, so there is a place for the acute response, like a broken femur or, an accident. But there's also options and things that you can do. And I love that you say, you're not a medical professional and you don't know it all, but you're going to find the right place. And then if you don't know, a lot of people. I know a lot of people. Even as a coach, you mentioned me. Thank you, honey. That's not what we're here about. But even if in coaching, if I don't know or I'm not the right fit, I point people in the direction. So just like you, same thing. You're going to point people in the direction that they need. That's why I love you.
You know what I would love to see the most is for it to all work together. like Western medicine has the research and the facility. Wouldn't it be a lovely world? And I guess that's just kind of like transcendent through the whole world. If we could just all work together and support each other, and like, you don't have it, let's find it. Or, I have it, you need it. Or you have it, I need it. Like, let's, I don't know, work together and we're in a very small, the more time I spend in Reno, the smaller I realize a town it is. Like, right? And so why shouldn't we all support each other and boost each other and spotlight each other? I don't know.
It is a small world. It's a small
right.
world. Yeah, there is a lot more of that going on. And I see it all of the time. Yeah, so I even promote other coaches word of mouth and talk about it too, because it's not about competition. It's about creation and working together, which is, the new way. And I just talked to someone about this recently, how, war is outdated. That's the old way. And we're finding nobody wants that anymore. So let's collaborate and see how we can really bring ourselves up and bring up the vibration, because we need it. So
and resonate on a frequency of love. That's all we have to do.
Right. And there's also a certain level of respect that I know goes with it. So otherwise, we're not as high vibe. So like healthy boundaries, making sure we're on the same page, making sure we are helping each other from our heart. I go more into that, in my private group, but let's talk, because we're going to wrap it up here. So we were just talking before we went live, and we were talking about, we want to, so usually I talk to businesses and I say, well, what do you have to offer? And today Keri has a shout out and a promotion herself to offer. So why don't you go ahead and give a brief little talk about that?
So yesterday we spent my grandson's birthday at what used to be called the Safari Zoo. It's the zoological something. I'm sorry, I can't pull exactly up the name. And I was so impressed with what they have there and the availability to be able to have a birthday party there. And they had a bounce house and a maze and all that. But I walked around the facility and I could hear people saying, oh, I feel so sorry for these animals. So I found one of the volunteers that worked there that looked like he'd been there for a while. And they call him the Cat Man. I believe that's what they call him, the Cat Man. I want to say his name was Jeff. And he told me how he is a retired painter and he absolutely loves the cats. And the cats wait for him at the door, and he goes in, he scratches them behind their ears and, on their little fannies, and that those animals are so loved, and that the original owner of the facility passed away. There's some new owners, and they brought in animals that were hand raised, hand loved, and they need help, guys. They need help. They've done a great job of trying to get everything restored, but as a brick and mortar business owner, my heart just reached out, like, as a community, we need to help them, whether it be go out and volunteer your time, whether we help them figure out how to put roofs, because we're going into winter. They need meat donations. They've got big cats out there, lions and tigers, no bears. They need hay donations. And right now they need alfalfa hay, because it's a warmer hay and we're going into winter. So if anyone, again, we were talking about that, if someone knows someone that can either go out and volunteer or offer up someone that knows, I'm sorry to say this, a slaughterhouse, or someone that has a hay field, or because they are big cats and they are going to stay there, and we need to support them and not think, oh, poor animals. Just think about what they've done out there. And as a person in Reno, we have access to that, and our children have access to that, to see the love that is there and the love that we can contribute. Again, all about love.
What is, so it used to be called Safari Zoo, and I will put the link here in the comments after the talk. So what is, where are they exactly? Because I haven't been there yet, but I already wrote it down. The kids and I will be going very soon.
Right. If you go out towards Red Rock, it's like 26 minutes from Plum, right? So if you jump on the freeway 395, you go out Red Rock, go out and you take the Red Rock exit, you turn left under the highway, and then you make another left on North Virginia. The Safari Zoo is right there on the right-hand side. They have a reptile tank. They just have some really cool stuff, and I would just love, as a community, if we could just get behind them and support them in every possible way.
So it's in Redmond. And I am to hide that I am a spiritual businesswoman. So, also too, yes, volunteer, yes, donate, go there. support them by going there and then spreading the word of that they care for their animals, and these animals are hand raised, they're loved.
They're loved.
You know, that's it. I've always had a problem with caged animals or going to zoos because of the treatment. But a place like that, I mean, I'm going to go and take the kids firsthand. I know what you're talking. I trust you. And
Right.
other people, I've been hearing from other people how great this place is. So we'll be going soon. And I will find the information for those of you, when Keri said Plum, that basically is like downtown, the center-ish, downtown Reno.
Midtownish, yeah.
Red Rock area. So I'll find it. I'll put it in the comments. So thank you for telling us about that. Happy belated birthday to your grandson.
Thank you. 5.
Why don't you, oh, I love 5. That's such a good age.
Right.
Why don't you tell everybody, Keri, how they can get a hold of you how they can get a hold of you, and we can move forward from there.
Sure. You can either go on our website, which is pinnaclewellnessreno.com, or you can come down and see me at 35 West Regency Way. It's kind of the, again, Plum and Wells kind of area at the beginning of Midtown. Our phone number is 775-236-3631. You can give us a shout and come down. We have gone to appointment only because of the, pandemic. And it's just so that we can, stay above board and keep people social distance. But, definitely call, come in, happy to give you a tour and see where we go from there, and invite you into our family and our community.
And that's what we didn't really talk about, is that I just want to point this out, and then we will go ahead and say goodbye, that you don't just go to Pinnacle Wellness Spa and get relaxation and detox and healing on a cellular level. You become part of the community, part of the family.
Yep.
So, and to me, that's everything.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Keri, for joining.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Stay on for just a moment. I know you have an appointment here, but we're going to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you guys for joining. If you're just joining now, go back and watch the recording. Denise, thank you for giving us the thumbs up, and I will see you soon.
Thank you.